I think that is such a big lesson. Honestly, this is why I love our conversations, because I feel like
Mhm.
we get different perspectives, right? Of like learning how to ask that question. Because if I would have been in your situation, I would have been like, okay, Oracle is always about steps, right? Like you have 2 years, okay, you might be able to ask this. Okay, you went like you cross one thing out of the list that you have to do, right? You have 2 years. Then I would be like, okay, how many projects have I worked on that has been, great, right? Okay, do I have that? I cross the list. Oh, but I'm running into this issue, then I'm not going to ask because I don't have a shot, right? Like you think that everything is so systematic that you just don't ask because you're like, I don't have this, or I don't qualify for this. In this case, it would be the I got a promotion a year before. Why would they consider me for a promotion this year? Even though I'm performing, right? And I'm doing what
Yeah.
I have to do, right? So I think that's such an important lesson because especially graduating from college, you might have that like you're intimidated of asking questions when you start a new job, where it's okay to ask questions. Like they're not going to fire you for asking, hey, can I get a promotion in a year? The worst that can happen is, hey, no, but people are scared of that, aka me,
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah, it's like, and I talk about this, and
yeah.
I still just keep getting more and more amazed and kind of just
You're like
surprised.
testing
No,
it.
no, literally, it's like I'm testing the guardrails of life
Yeah.
constantly, where it's just like I don't know, and like I keep emphasizing this point, but like it just keeps surprising me how much it's true, and like the more I focus on it, the more my life seems to be getting better. Is
Exactly.
it's just like the whole like your life for your first 22 years has so many guardrails, like to the point where I don't know. I get that we live in a complex society where
Mm-hmm.
you need a lot of formal education because there is so much going on. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think from like a human biology and developmental perspective, there are downsides we're not thinking about with the fact that we do keep people through all their like developmentally formative years on such a guardrailed system.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you come into the real world and you're like, oh, like I'm no longer on this like very slim and narrow track. If
Mm-hmm.
I find like a shortcut, there's no one stopping me from taking it. But it's like
Right.
it's a very weird thing to like wrap your head around and
Mm-hmm.
with all this. And just that's like why we started this podcast. And like originally we are just having conversations where it's like it's good to talk to people. And like I recommend like everyone do. It's like, hey, just like find some people you trust
Mm-hmm.
who are in similar just life paths, stages in their career, and just want to go places and like have conversations where I was even talking to Killian Lynch, who started with us in solution engineering, and now he's also in PM, started around the same time we did under Dom Gills, who's like this super impressive database PM.
Yeah.
And just like being able to spitball and chat with him for what, like 30 minutes to an hour, we felt like more confident about like, oh, I've been thinking about these things. You have to. It's like, okay, like there's something here.
Yep.
Like this is like, oh yeah, you found out that that's fine to do. It's like I found out that this is fine to do. And it's like, oh, we should probably like be careful around this area and this area. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's good to know. By just finding like-minded people, you
Yep.
can help just uncover the territory that you're dealing with like so much quicker and like shared notes. And like
Yeah.
all that's just super helpful for like fast development.
Exactly. No, I 100% think that's so useful. Like being able to connect with people in a more, exactly, like having trust, right? Because I also have, well, like Killian and I, we were in the same cohort. So we presented together and I think we worked really well together, right?
Oh, I
Like,
forgot you guys were the same cohort. I was
yeah,
talking to him. We need to have him on the podcast soon.
yeah,
That'd
we
be a
should.
fun one.
And like Killian actually, when he started talking about his promotion, he kind of told me, he was like, you should definitely bring it up. And, like just having someone to even kind of push you towards like doing it, he would like message me, did you bring it up? Did you? Because he knows that I'm a little like shy when it comes to
Oh,
asking
that's nice of
questions,
him.
so he would tell me literally, did you bring it up? And I'll be like, no. Or like in our because I also have like one-on-one sessions with him every month, right? And it's just nice to get other people that, of course, think like you think, but are maybe more risky, like you or even him, right? To kind of make you grow as a person, right? Because that's what interactions are about, I think, right? Like
Yeah.
having a friend or a coworker or your partner that pushes you towards being a little more risky, and taking more advantages. That I think that's where you get like the most out of a nice relationship with anyone, right?
Mhm.
So definitely, like, if you guys are like starting your job or you're about to start your job, try to find that person, right? Like that person that is starting with you, that you're able to talk to them about anything and feel comfortable and learn from them. Because now, like, we all came from like class of social engineering, but we're all in this position. But it's nice that we're all in different teams, because now we kind of figure out, like, for example, I also like meet with Noang, and he started making videos, right, of tutorials. And I kind of asked him like, oh, how do you do it? What do you use? All of this, like exchanging ideas. And you learn so much from other teams that you might be able to implement in your team. So it's really nice to have that group of people inside of work.
Mhm.